Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. Let me switch to a subject near and dear to my heart. Me. Because, once again, I'm in the news. And you would think it would be about something else other than what I'm in the news for. But one thing after another has appeared. I had a couple of articles that I had to pay attention to this week. And there is no way around this. So I'm going to tackle it with the fervor that it deserves and let you know what I'm thinking. The Daily Beast last week wrote the headline is Top Dem. A lot to like about Stephen A. Smith's presidential bid. That is House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, who I hope will be on this show in the very near future. Another article came out this weekend by The New Yorker. Headline, Stephen A. Smith for President. NewYorker.com. Check it out. I must admit, I got on like a lavender blazer with a lavender shirt and a purple tie. I was looking pretty fly, if I should say so myself. I just want to throw that out there. Okay? And now the latest is courtesy of TMZ. Now, mind you, USA Today, Washington Post, various other publications have written about this as well. Stephen A. Smith, I am not running for U.S. president. This is when TMZ caught me coming out of a Shannon Sharp's party in New Orleans during Super Bowl week. And I guess they ran this recently. And I wanted to go there because I wanted to make sure that I put this to bed once and for all. I have no intentions of running for the presidency of the United States of America. I do not believe I am an aficionado. I do not believe that my pockets are deep enough for me to ignore the financial strain that could potentially have on me, because obviously I earn more than the president of the United States right now. He makes about $400,000 a year. That position there is. Senate and congressional figures make anywhere from $170,000 to $270,000 a year. Needless to say, I make more money than that. And so I'm not really interested on that level. But here's a reason why, while being honest about having zero desire whatsoever to be a politician, because I consider them beggars, donors, campaign donations, sponsors and, political figures. And even when you get into office, you got to curry favor with politicians to get legislation pushed through and all of this other stuff. It's just no peace in my life. Plus, it's giving you a license because I'm asking to legislate the lives of 350 plus American citizens. That gives you a license to get into my personal business, that I don't want you in that. All of that's true. But there's a reason that while saying what I've said and meaning it, I've often said, even in a half-joking way, if the American people wanted me to be the president of the United States and I knew that I had a really, really good shot to win, I can't deny that it's something I would consider. Let me tell you why I say that. Because I think our system sucks. I think the binary system that we're in, where we have to choose between the Democrats or the Republicans, is a joke. I think it dissuades a vast majority of American citizens from wanting to be a part of the political process. And I think that something needs to be done about it in order to bring America back to where it should have always been. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports for a living. Griff, Sherry, Rashawn, everybody listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. It's very, very, very important. Because I know, like I told America before, I've got a bunch of liberals working for me. Some are closet Republicans. They don't want to admit it, but it's true. We got a bunch of liberals working for me in the whole bit. Let me be very, very clear about where I stand. Wes, you need to listen to, damn it. You got a family. Listen to me. Listen when I'm talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports for a living. I like competition. I want legitimate competition between the Republican and the Democratic Party over your ideas of what the country should be and how we can get it there. I hate it when the left, because I firmly believe they politicized a whole bunch of legal stuff against Donald Trump. I'm not questioning the legitimacy or lack thereof. I don't know. You got the 11,000 votes he was seeking in Georgia. You got the 34 felony convictions he received in New York. Some people said it's hush money. Others said, what's the difference between that and an NDA? Damn it, the man cooked up with a porn star and didn't want anybody to know before the election. Oh, my God, stop the presses. John Edwards got loose as a Democratic nominee or a Democratic candidate when he was running for the presidency. He didn't want people to know. I'm quite sure he would have hit it if he could have gotten away with it. Gary Edwards did the same thing. You don't think Clinton tried to submerge evidence against him with the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal? Come on. I think it was politicized to some degree anyway. And I hated that because what I was saying is beat him. Go back to the tapes. Griff, nod your head if I'm lying. I was saying beat him. Don't pussyfoot around. Don't depend on the legal system to wipe him out so you don't have to go against him in the polls. Beat him. What's one of the reasons I think he lost? I think he won. Because he was saying, you can't beat me. You're using this to get help because you can't beat me on your own. And sure enough, election day rolls around and the Democrats got their ass kicked. I don't want to hear this noise about how he didn't get 50% of the vote. 49.8% he got. Kamala got 48.3%. The man won 50 counties and went up in every one of them. He won all 6 or 7 swing states. The black vote, the Hispanic vote, the young voters all voted for him. He won. He won. Because we didn't want to engage in competition on the left. We were looking for the courts to help us. Now we fast forward. And what are we saying here? I'm reading an article right here, New York Times. I'm reading it right here, New York Times. Headline, venting at Democrats and fearing Trump, liberal donors pull back cash. I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from here from you. The small dollar online spigot that powered opposition to the first Trump administration has slowed to a trickle as shaken liberal voters withhold their donations. Charitable foundations that have long supported causes like voting rights, LGBTQ equality, and immigrants' rights are pulling back the voting time to prepare for expected investigations from the Republican-led Congress. And some of the country's biggest liberal donors, have paused giving, frustrated with what they see as Democrats' lack of vision and worried about retaliation from a vengeful president. Some Democrats say a few of their reliable donors are now openly supporting Mr. Trump, or at least looking to curry favor with him. In another paragraph, it says, while Mr. Trump has not taken action against any liberal groups or lawmakers, Democrats worry his frequent threats of retribution during the campaign have led to a chilling effect on the charitable foundations and nonprofit advocacy groups that have long been pillars of the country's civil society. Jeff Skoll, a Silicon Valley billionaire and a longtime friend of Elon Musk, said there was an awful lot of pressure to side with Trump. This month, Mr. Skoll, who's donated tens of millions to Democratic candidates and causes in recent years, but said he did not vote in 2024 presidential election, posted a photo on social media of himself standing with Mr. Trump backstage at the inauguration. On Friday, he had breakfast in Palm Beach, Florida, with Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, the minority leader, where they discussed the prospect of Mr. Schumer's using Mr. Skoll to back-channel ideas to the president. Mr. Schumer recalls the conversation differently, according to an aide, okay? But here's the biggest thing, and I'll stop the reading after this. Quote, there are people who are absolutely against Trump, never Trumpers, who fear that they'll be retaliated against and they'll have to leave the country, Mr. Skoll said. Folks who wish to oppose him, it may take some time before they gather up the courage. But listen to this. The result is a political environment that is strikingly different from 2017 when money poured into Democratic causes, fortifying existing organizations and seeding a flowering of new groups to fight different parts of Mr. Trump's agenda. Now, some of those same organizations are struggling to survive in part because few new major liberal donors have emerged since 2017. Groups that support LGBTQ rights, promote gender equity, and champion other progressive causes have cut staffing and announced that longtime leaders are leaving. End Citizens United, a left-leaning group that aims to overhaul campaign finance laws, laid off its 6 senior staff members last month as part of a restructuring. Run for Something, which works to elect liberal down-ballot candidates, laid off 35% of its staff late last year. And Gelsen, GLSEN, a group dedicated to protect the LGBTQ students, laid off 25 people last month. Let me tell y'all something. If you're the Democrats, that's why Stephen A. Smith is in the news. Because y'all don't have anybody. You don't have anybody. Who you got? Who you got? Kamala Harris better not run. She better not run. She's not going to win the presidency in 2028. Keep in mind, respect for her. I'm not going to disrespect the former vice president of the United States. I will never do that. But we got to be real about something here. When she ran for election on her own, she couldn't make it to Iowa in 2020. She ultimately positions herself against the vice presidency. They win the election in 2020. Joe Biden is feeling himself after the liberals won the midterms. And instead of being a transitional president like he promised, the man backstabbed the Liberal Party and turned around and said, I'm staying. They wanted him out. So what did everybody, we all know this now. Boo Boo the Fool can see what happened now. You knew he had lost a step. We don't know what the hell was wrong with him, but clearly his fastball was gone. So you have no primary. You fix it so he doesn't have to face a primary. And then you put him on stage last June 27th for a debate. He embarrasses himself, and 3 weeks later, he has to bow out so Kamala Harris could come in as a Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America at a time when they didn't have any time to put somebody else in to compete with her. You don't overcome that after losing the election. America ain't going to go for it on the left. They ain't going to go for it. Who else you got? Hakeem Jeffries? I personally support Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. But I don't know how much of a national figure he is. I already interviewed Josh Shapiro. And oh, by the way, to the Republicans listening out there, you're welcome to come on the Stephen A. Smith Show. I'm not one-sided. See, this is why my name is in the election. You hear me, Griff? You hear me, Wes? You hear me, Sherry? You hear me, Rashad? You hear me? The Stephen A. Smith team I'm talking to. That's why I'm in the news. I'm not in the news because I'm here. I'm in the news because the Democratic Party is here. Damn it, lower than that. Down at the bottom. They suck right now. Horrible. Because they don't have a voice. Where the hell is the voice? And everybody want to sit up there and talk about, we don't need a voice. 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 Well, guess what? Somebody got to send a message. How the hell can somebody receive a message if there's no messenger? You got to do it. And they don't have anybody. That's why Stephen A. Smith is a candidate. Who the hell told y'all I'd want to be a Democrat? I have conservative ideas. I believe in free market capitalism. I believe in patrolling our borders. I believe in strong national security. But you are right. I'd probably be a Democrat, a moderate, a centrist leaning left. I'm about that Bill Clinton-Newt Gingrich agreement. I'm about that surplus when Clinton walked out of office. I'm about Obama deporting more than Trump did, but the American public didn't notice. I'm about a strong economy. I want Griff to get paid. I want Sherry to get paid. I want Galen to get paid. I want Rashawn to get paid. I just want to get paid too. You really, really think that Stephen A. Smith would tolerate crime in the streets to the point where you got to let 3 people in the store at a time? Do you know anything about me? Do you know what I would do as commander-in-chief if I saw crime raiding through our streets and it was affecting jobs and safety and ultimately the economy? Do you know who the hell you're talking to or listening to? Hell, Trump might not have anything on me. With that, I ain't having it. I ain't having it. So I'm just saying to y'all, that's why I'm a candidate. It ain't because I want to. It ain't because I'm some expert. It ain't because I'm some aficionado who's saying that I know more. You know how much I would have to learn? Hell, I don't even know how to pronounce most foreign dignitaries' names. The sad part is that I'd still beat any Democrat out there right now. Because who the hell is resonating with the American people? Hell, even Josh Shapiro came on the show, who I like a lot, by the way. And even he talked about, I'm just concentrating on Pennsylvania. What? What? We need more than that. I have no interest in getting involved. More so than pundency and commentary. But you better hope I stay feeling that way. Because let me tell you something right now. I said I'll bring the rain. I lied. I'd bring hell. Hell. Because I ain't playing. I'm there to win. Our two-party system sucks. You think I like what I see Elon Musk doing? I don't know whether I like it or not. I don't know if he can be trusted. I don't like the fact that he's getting billions from our federal government while he's doing business on behalf of the president, and the president is talking about, I'll police him myself. I'll watch him. Well, I'm supposed to trust that? No. But President Trump has a right to do it because he won. Because y'all didn't beat him. Because while he was talking about the economy, and he was talking about the price of goods, and he was talking about inflation, and he was talking about our borders, and he was talking about crime in the streets, the Democrats was talking about LGBTQ and transgender rights and 1% of the population at the expense. See, and this is the part that I want to make sure I'm clear about. This was the crime. It's not that they were talking about transgender rights. It's that they forgot 13% of the population in the black community, and they forgot nearly 20% of the population in the Hispanic community who supported them at the expense of the 1%. How stupid can you be? I don't believe that's Kamala Harris's fault. I believe that's zealots on the left, on the progressive side, who somehow, some way manage to pull these people to their side. Nobody, center-left, simply looked at them in the face, whether it's AOC or anybody else from the squad, and asked a simple question. Where the hell are you going? If you don't vote for us, what you gonna do? Go vote for Trump? You gonna vote right? And you on the progressive left? If you all the way left, okay? If you all the way left, what you gonna do, all the way right? You might not like where somebody is center left, but at least they're closer to the left than the other side. And the center left was capitulating to that. Why? Because you had no strong leadership. You had nobody to tell them to sit their ass down, shut up, and follow my lead. I'm the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States, not you. We gonna do this my way. They don't have that on the left. And now you got a whole bunch of people running scared, talking about leaving the country because they scared of Trump. Well, maybe if you didn't try to use warfare to get him, and you just sat up there and competed with him fair and square about your policies being better than his and articulated that message to the masses, maybe it wouldn't be this way. But you didn't do it. That's why Stephen A. Smith is being polled as a presidential nominee. It ain't because I'm qualified. It damn sure ain't because I'm the smartest dude in the room. It's because I got heart. I got guts. And if we gonna have a fight, let's get down. Let's get it on. America knows I would do that much. And I'd have a clue as to what I'm talking about. And I'd have a clue as to what not to talk about. Like something that's less than 1% of the population. Think about this last point I'm going to make. President Barack Obama deported more people than Trump ever did. And you barely heard about it. He just did it. Knowing that, Joe Biden opened borders. They could talk about how you could open it, but you couldn't necessarily close it after you opened it because of COVID and all this. I don't want to hear that. The streets of America were ravaged with illegal immigrants in our nation. And Joe Biden and his administration did nothing about it. After Obama had done everything about it. other than pass comprehensive immigration reform, which takes both sides of the aisle. President Obama did his job. Joe Biden did not. And the Democrats, who are progressives, that means looking forward, stood up during his State of the Union knowing that he was approaching 82 years of age and chanted 4 more years. You have no authenticity. You have no legitimacy. Your heart might be in the right place with some of the policies that you're trying to implement, some of the things that you're trying to move forward while it appears Trump may be trying to turn the clock back. But it's the price you pay when you're incompetent, selfish, tone deaf, devoid of impact. That's what the Democratic Party, that's where the Democratic Party is at right now. And it's exactly why some sports analyst on national TV is a candidate for the presidency of the United States of America. I have no desire whatsoever to compromise my quality of life for this. But I'll say this much about myself. I don't blame millions of Americans if they want me to. Because what the hell is the alternative? Look at y'all. Look at y'all. I'm talking to the Dems specifically. What a travesty. Everybody's jumping ship from y'all. Party has to change. It has to be purged. And those who got in Kamala Harris's ear and told her that that was the strategy they needed to exercise in those 107 days before the election, all of them should be gone. Every living ass. Every one of them. What an egregious plan to put forth. She didn't lose this election. Y'all lost it. And with it, you took her presidential aspirations with her and threw it away. That's why I'm a candidate. And even though I have no desire to be one, I don't mind the noise. Hopefully it'll make y'all uncomfortable to get y'all back up so you can get your act together and do what the hell you're supposed to do. If not that, holla at me in 3 years. I might have changed my mind by then. Till next time.